We're back again for another chat in our Real Women, Real Lives, Real Wisdom series. And just to remind you, if you haven't seen any of this series before, then you really need to catch all these chats with these lovely 8 women that have joined me to collaborate on this project. And the reason I'm doing this is because, you know, we're all in a bit of a weird state this year, really, aren't we? And things are happening left, right and centre in people's lives, perhaps new things, perhaps things are accentuating how we've been feeling for some time. We've been feeling overwhelmed, stressed out. And certainly, you know, I've learned a lot in my own journey back from burnout and depression about how to really kind of, I don't know, build a bit more resilience that really helps us in these kind of times. So I've reached out to 8 women who, whether they know it or not, have really actually been an inspiration to me in my own journey, to help me share some positive words, some real wisdom about how, you know, you can have hope in these kind of situations and really be those kind of nuggets of hope that might propel you into a different way of thinking, a different way of kind of living your life. And today I am chatting to Jen MARINEL, who, hi Jen. Actually, would you like to introduce yourself at this point? Otherwise I will carry on waffling on.
I was quite enjoying listening to you waffling on. Yeah, so I'm Jen MARINEL and I'm a free spirit, wild adventurer, coach, trainer, guide. And I'm not exactly sure, you know, what you're going to cover in this conversation, but I'm sort of ex-corporate, used to work in financial services, left all that behind to follow my heart and set up my nature-based wellbeing business, Wildfire Walks, and have gone on to just sort of explore life and what's really important to me and how I wanted to live my life and help other women to do the same. Yeah, and is that enough for now?
Do you know what, Jen? That's exactly how you've inspired me. We met, didn't we? Probably around about 2.5, 3 years ago now, when we were doing our one of many coaching training. And since then I've just felt like really drawn to your work. I remember having a chat with you actually when we were doing our training during our week's intensive training, and just feeling an absolute awe that here was this woman who was absolutely ditched everything and followed her heart. And, you know, like, you're just like a free spirit. And I remember thinking, I want some of that. Why can I not just do this? And so your posts have been that kind of real draw for me into what's possible when you just go back to who you are and live as you are, and you know, kind of let go of the pressures of to be someone else. And I'm sure that a lot of women who you know, will be resonating with this in some way. And that's why I reached out to you, because you've been, you know, your posts and your adventures, my God, your adventures, like living up completely off grid for, you know, most of a year and just amongst other things. I'm sure you'll say a bit about that, but have been an absolute inspiration to me. So how about you share with us what your quote is that you're offering into this series and why you've chosen that?
Yeah, gosh, I have to admit it was hard to sum up and find just one quote. But it's really lovely to hear you reflecting that back, Gillian, because yeah, it's lovely to know. So my quote is, "The secret of courage is trusting you'll be okay no matter what." And I chose that one because if you'd asked me 5 years ago what my life would look like now, it would have looked very different to what it looks like now. And I was going, you know, on the climbing the career ladder route, and respectable job, well paid, you know, a lot of prospects. And inside, I actually wasn't very happy, but it took a while to realize that. But at that moment where I realized I wasn't happy, and my world kind of fell apart, and I ended up being signed off work with depression for a couple of months, and it really felt like I'd hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And it was a really tough time, and I was blessed to work with a woman called Carrie Rose, who helped me rediscover my dreams and helped me just start to listen to who I was again. And there was something about, you know, she helped me trust in myself, in my dreams, and trust that something else is possible. And from there on in, the last sort of 5 years or so, have just been following breadcrumbs, following the little whisper of, you know, what's my vision out there. And the final vision kind of became irrelevant. It was just following the little breadcrumbs along the way. And sometimes it was really hard. You know, I left my well-paid job with nothing to go to. I was, you know, I had a lot of financial issues and getting out of the relationship that I was in and selling a house. And there were times where I didn't know how I was going to pay the mortgage and I didn't know where I was going to be living. But I just kept coming back to this just real trust that I was heading in the right direction. And living, like I say, living off grid in my yurt in the woods was really back to basics. And then I spent a whole year house sitting and not necessarily knowing where I was going to live week after week. But there was something about almost having nothing. I didn't have nothing, never was at a place where I absolutely had nothing, but this sense of didn't have a roof over my head, didn't know where I was going to be living, and this constant moving around made me realize that I was okay. And it really helped me realize that I could trust that no matter how bad things got, no matter how hard things were, I just knew I'd be okay. And so I've got this real belief that as long as I've sort of got this eye on where I want to be going overall, and I keep trusting the steps and trusting that stuff will happen. Every time I let go of it needing to be a certain way, or, you know, tying everything to a particular outcome, every time I trust and let go, magic happens. And it's phenomenal. I don't know how it happens, but the opportunities that present themselves, the stuff that happens is just reaffirmed every single time that if I just trust and just listen to what's important to me, take the next step, I'm okay. And I now know I can live off grid in the woods, you know, if I need to. So letting go of the fear.
Yeah, and let go of the should be and I need to, and all of those kind of things that we get trapped into, don't we, so easily.
Exactly. You know, in corporate, it was a very, you know, should be this, should do this. And I know, you know, that resonates with a lot of women inside and outside of corporate. There's this sort of way we should be. And every time I've kind of let go of another should, it's helped me find even more freedom. So yeah, I've let go of a lot of fear, a lot of what will other people think, a lot of, oh, I should be at this point in my life by now.
They are such amazing. I think you've kind of given your points of wisdom there, actually, Jen. You know, I think that is such wisdom for anyone watching this, particularly, I think, who is, as you described, feeling lost, feeling perhaps like, you know, they should be okay by now in this situation, or, you know, they should be doing whatever it is with their life, or, you know, it's your wisdom there is very clear. It's like, you know,
who says?
yeah, who says that these should be things? You know, look around you. You know,
And
don't.
but I often think this. Sometimes I look at other colleagues or people that were kind of at the same level as me, and I look at them and I see that they're heads of and directors and this, and every now and then I'll get a little bit of, oh, I could have been a, you know, a head of something, and then I think, but that's not what I want. You know, I look now and I'm, you know, financially I'd be in a very different position if I had continued to follow that path. But I look now and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I just think, you know, what's the comparison? So who says I should have, you know, been doing that with the company car and the, you know, all of that. I love what I've got now.
And I guess bringing that message into, you know, the here and now for a lot of women that are likely to be watching these videos is, you know, who says you have to, I don't know, cook 3 meals a day from scratch because you should be being the expert mum? Who says you should have all your shit together because, you know, we've been in this pandemic 9 months now, and why haven't you got it sorted?
You're used to it by now.
Yeah. Who says any of this stuff? Where you are right now is where you need to be to learn and grow for the next stage. And like, I love what you say. I've heard you say this before, Jen, but I love what you say about just looking out for the next breadcrumb, and then the next one, and then the next one, and very soon you'll get a sense of where you're going, but just keep following the breadcrumbs rather than going straight for the big thing that you should have.
Because the big thing might not actually be where you want to be, and it's that journey along the way. I use the analogy of being in a woods, you know, and you can't necessarily.
Very apt for you.
Yeah, exactly, right. So go into the woods, and you know you're heading for this hill over here, but you're sort of in the woods, and suddenly you're lost in the woods, and you've kind of got just this path, and but sometimes just trusting and following the path as you go. And you might go on a little bit of a detour sometimes, but you know, the beautiful things you'll find on that detour, the things you'll learn about yourself on the way, and the people you meet on the way. Whereas if you've just gone right and going straight there, you miss out on all of that. And I mean, some of the opportunities I've had, I wouldn't have had if I hadn't just trusted and followed each little step and explored opportunities along the way. You know, it's not just about the final. Oh, that's such a cliche, isn't it? It's not just about the destination; it's about the journey. But it really is.
It is. Yeah. So just remind us again at this point what your quote is. It's
the secret to courage is trusting you'll be okay no matter what.
Yeah, that just perfectly sums that up, doesn't it?
Yeah, because it takes courage to follow your dreams and to do some of the hard stuff.
Yeah.
But I believe that, you know, you can feel courageous when you really learn to let go and trust that you will be okay, because we're all stronger than we think.
Jen, thank you so much. Heartfelt thanks from me for being part of this project. This project has just grown from being an idea that I had in the shower one Sunday morning. As you know, I'm constantly having ideas, being the sort of creative brain that I am. I've learned to trust my creative brain, and thinking, well, you know, I could ask this person, I could do this, I could do, and going from it should be this to no, this is about what it's about. It's about these key messages of wisdom. It's about me getting to illustrate all of these amazing quotes. And it's about, you know, being able to put those quotes into a format that basically then helps people through these videos, seeing these on social media, and the purchase, you'll be able to purchase, just to remind everyone, you'll be able to purchase these, the prints of these illustrated quotes, and 20% of all of the profits will go directly to mine. So not only is this project helping the women that engage with the project, you know, are buying the prints, looking at the messages on the back, listening to our live chats, but it's also supporting mine to be able to support hundreds, if not thousands more people who are struggling and need those little nuggets of wisdom and hope across the country as well. So, you know, thank you again, Jen.
Oh, you're welcome.
We will put your thank you. We'll put your links to your business below this video when we put your video up on social media. So if anyone's curious about your adventures, you write amazing blogs. You know, you can read all about Jen's adventures and get a sense of, you know, how she's trusted herself through her work. As I say, we'll pop the links below. So thank you so much again, Jen, and I'm sure we will speak again really soon.
Yeah, look forward to it.
See you then. Bye.